What's going on, good people? What's happening? Yeah, that's right. We back. As that kid Stephen A be saying on his show, did you miss us? We missed y'all because we like to talk about it. And it's that time of year, y'all. Y'all know what it is. Football season is underway, and we got to get it in. Now, I'm excited about football season, but I ain't gonna lie, I ain't even a fifth as excited as that dude right there. That dude, the man with the master plan, you know what it is. It's his show. He here to do his thing and talk about his favorite. That be that young football. Without further ado, I give you the myth, the man, the legend, my dog, my mellow. Hugh Lee, what's going on, Hugh?
What's good, man? Just been checking and seeing what's going on, man. As far as the different predictions and trying to get all that under wraps. But other than that, man, just been chilling, man. It's crazy because it all started last week, Saturday, and I didn't know how excited I was gonna be until I seen how really good that game was, man. And that shook up everything before we even got to this weekend, man, or tonight, because we got action tonight too as well. But yeah, man, that's just how I like it though, man. College always shake up the just the ratings, the predictions and everything that you think is going to be. And when you think that the team just going to walk through another team or just glide through and just win, hey, man, we always have something else come in the fold. So, yeah, definitely happy to talk about it, discuss what we're going to do today as far as our different rankings, the predictions. So, yeah, I'm just ready to get it started now, man, as far as all the predictions of who we think gonna be in the playoffs in college, and then get into our pros the win and loss records.
Look how happy that brother is. You see what I'm saying? He love that thing called football. And for those of y'all who love it too, then this is the show for you. Tune on in and make sure that as you watching it, throw your comments in. Let us know, did we get it right? Did we get it wrong? Who y'all think gonna make it here, there? Who gonna be the big winners, the big losers? We want to hear all that from y'all too, okay? So by all means, chime on in. But all right, Hugh, what you got?
You want to start off with the college, the teams that I feel like gonna be in it?
All right, well, let me break it down for people real quick. Like, as you know, the college football playoff system a little different this year, people. We don't have it like back in the day when it was the one team against the other team, nor do we have it where it was the final four like we done had in these last 5 or 6 years. Now we got a whole playoff system, and we got to pick 12 teams that we think gonna make it to these college football playoffs. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I don't have 12 per se, but I got some say on it. What say you, Hugh?
Number one, I'm gonna go with right now. I'm gonna go with Georgia because I feel like right now I still feel like if there was a 12-team playoff last year, that it would have been something that we could have saw and we could have enjoyed at this point in time. So yeah, man. Since they wasn't in it, I still feel like they got more seniors and more people that's coming back to their team. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely go with them as my number one team right now in the college ranking.
Okay, I agree. I mean, it was only 4 last year, and they still should have been in, as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, I agree with that one. What else you got?
With 2, I'm gonna go with Ohio State. As much as I hate to say the red team, I look at it right now like they came back with all their starters. And one thing that scared me, what I read just recently, that they were saying that them boys not only have re-upped on their actual players that they're bringing back. I know they lost a few players, but man, they said they even got a wide receiver that's better than Marvin Harrison Jr. right now that's on the roster, who came in, who was a 5-star recruit. So, yeah, I'm going to definitely go with them right now as the number 2 selection.
Man, I ain't even liking nothing that's coming out your mouth right now. Talking about that team from the South, that team in Ohio. All that being said, he ain't lying. They probably win in the Big Ten. I hate it, but I got to keep it 100 with y'all. I'm with them too.
When Harbaugh left, man, that definitely left a lot for us to really cover, man. And he not only left, but he left like most of our singers. This is the first time in a long time I've seen this happen and I've seen this turn around a lot with Alabama, but this is the first time we've ever witnessed a turnaround so big for the Wolverines, man. Not only is the coach gone, but most of the players too. So, man, I think with some of the recruits who stayed in, because we know a lot of people when they heard about Harbaugh, we knew they was going to go through the portal. So, yeah, I still feel like it's going to be some say-so with us, but I definitely think they're going to take a step back, though.
Okay, that being said, Hugh, are you saying that's going to be one of the 12 teams?
I believe they're going to be on the bubble, to be honest with you right now. I think they'll definitely be one of the bubble teams there to make it.
I think they get in for the simple fact that they were the national champions, and I think that's going to give people an advantage moving forward. If you was the champion last year, you probably kind of in until you ain't.
I actually think that they're going to be like that 12th team.
Yeah, I'm thinking somewhere along them lines as well.
And then with the third team, I have Alabama, actually. I think they might be ranked too high right now in that, but I'm not even really trying to say, like, really the ranking. I'm just basically naming the teams who I feel like going to be in it. And I think they're going to be in it as well. And then
I will go with that also because I do believe we're going to get 3 SEC teams and 3 Big Ten teams, and that's going to be one of the teams.
You know who else I think gonna be in there, man? And it's funny, man. We already talked about this team, Notre Dame, man. I think that it's their playoff to actually lose right now because who they are and their names, I definitely feel like they're going to get front row seats to it. And I definitely wouldn't be surprised if they be one of those teams that definitely get in. All they got to do is just don't lose more than 2 games and they should be in, man. And after last year, what they showed me, man, from the coach standpoint and just how good they played at the end of the year, man, I was really surprised. They played well, man. At one point, I felt like if they didn't lose that many games, that they possibly could have made that playoff last year. And then when they beat up on USC, I was like, yeah, man, all they got to do is just keep what they got going right now and then get that momentum and bring it into this season. And so, yeah, I think it's theirs to actually lose right now.
Okay, well, if we do the post editing correctly, you should hear the money symbol in here some way. Because in the end, remember, it's not just about this being a playoff. It's about putting booties in the seats and having people watching whatnot. It's Notre Dame fans all over the world, as you know. So it only makes sense that right now, as we speak, knowing no team has really even played yet, hardly, Notre Dame in right now. They in right now. They're in until they're not in. That's just how deep it is. And like he said, I think they can even lose as many as 3 games and still be in. Mm-hmm. That's how in they are. Because of their unique setup, being an independent contractor, so to speak, but yet having that cachet where if they're in the playoffs, wherever you put them, people are going to travel and spend their money.
Yeah, because I definitely believe in the strength of schedule, too. If they have like a schedule where they have more hard teams to face, like say, for instance, if they face 5, 6 top 10 teams and they lose 3. And like, say, for instance, if it's a close game, like how they barely lost, I was surprised that they actually lost to Ohio State last year. I thought that was their game to win and they just made a butthead mistake and they lost. But like if they lose like to the heavy hitter teams like that, like maybe 2 or 3, and their record shows that they only lost to those 3 top 10 teams, and then you get something like another team who didn't really play that many people, but then they had a good record, a la Florida State. We'll definitely talk about them a little more. And that's what I think can happen, that can move them into the playoffs. Because right now, that one loss that they had this year may hurt them more than they know right now.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think it matters what teams Notre Dame lose to. As long as it's 3 or less, they in the playoffs, flat out.
I have a surprising team too, man. I think Clemson's going to find their way back into the argument because I feel like people looking at them and they're taking them off, man. They're already writing them off and don't feel like that they'll be one of those teams that be in the playoffs. But man, I just feel like last year was a down year for them, and they still had really not. It wasn't a Clemson like record, but still they beat some really big teams. And they played well in moments when I didn't think they were going to play well because I wrote them off last year. And then they proved me wrong. So I definitely still feel like they'll be one of those teams in the mix once it comes down to the playoffs.
Remember, the four conferences get one automatic bid. So that's one for the SEC, one for the Big 10, one for the Big 12, and one for the ACC. And basically, I think the ACC is going to boil down to them and Florida State. Whoever wins between them two is definitely in. The runner-up probably got a pretty good shot at getting in as well.
I also got the Utah Utes that I think is going to be in, man. All they got to do is just keep the quarterback healthy because if he can stay healthy, I definitely think he could take them as far as they can go. Because Uncle Rico, when he owned. I done seen him beat teams he had no business beating before. And the Utah team is real disciplined. Really surprised to see how well they play. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the Utah Utes with the quarterback coming back and, the team just still being what it is under their coach. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Utah actually make it in.
Yeah, that kid Rising, he's a good one. He definitely should be a first or second round pick for sure. Utah kind of got on the bubble. It really depends on the strength of how well they beat people as to whether they get him.
And it's unfortunate too, because man, they probably sprinkle some more whether it's Big 10 or SEC teams in there. I wouldn't be surprised if they sprinkle some more in there. Like, for instance, like, Oregon, all Oregon got to do is don't lose more than 2 games and they'll be in. I still feel like Penn State to be in too. And but the crazy part is some of the teams that we would have been naming, some of them Big 12 teams, I wouldn't be surprised if they still creep in the actual, playoffs too, like the Texas teams or, Oklahoma. It could happen.
Now hold on, Hugh. Remember, we talking Texas, Oklahoma. They're not in the Big 12 no more. They in that conference as the SEC. It's gonna be a little harder to get in because of that.
Harder for that. Because
but yeah, the Big 12 gonna be interesting because what team is in the Big 12, and we might as well go ahead and throw it out there because that's the team we all been hearing people talk about all week. That would be the Colorado Buffaloes. What's your thoughts on them?
Colorado, man, I just feel like they just need to win more games, man, because a lot of people I think they basically overranked them. And when they when they beat TCU, we had to realize too how bad of a team TCU was. That was the thing. A lot of people they were ranked and they lost too. And then that's when Deion, let me not say that, Coach Prime was saying, do you believe? And they like, believe what? What you talking about? And he like, oh, you don't believe. And, he was feeling himself. And then when it started to shift into them losing, then that's when, things changed with him, man. His whole demeanor and everything changed. And then that's when the criticism happened. We knew that was going to happen with him. We were saying, man, right now he on the high, but when he start losing, we want to see how he react. And he didn't handle it well, but I definitely don't feel like they'll be a playoff team. I don't even think that they'll.
Right. I mean, the thing is this: I'm curious to see what happens with this season for them. I like to think they're at least going to win enough games to get to a bowl game, but if they finish kind of similar to how they did last year, I don't know if Deion stays in Colorado, not because they're going to want him out, but I don't think he's going to want to stay because I think because he has the platform that he has and he has the cachet that he has, I think he could actually go to a bigger program and have a better chance of winning after the fact. So I'm curious to see how it plays out for him.
You know, another team that I feel like will be pretty good too, man, or I think I was shocked last year, not only when they started losing, but the way they started losing, because they ended up losing more games than I expected them to lose. But they were one of my lookout teams, man. Like, you know, watch out for this team because they're on the rise. The Kansas State, man. Kansas State played really good last year in moments. In some moments, I was like, damn, you know, they basically didn't play up to the expectations I have for them. But that's another team that I have that could possibly be on the bubble. And I definitely will look into them more, too, because I want to see how they look this year.
Again, I think if Kansas State was to make it, it would have to be not necessarily on the strength schedule, but on the strength of how well they beat teams. I really struggle to see a team like a Kansas State or a Boise State or teams like that make this playoff without just being like extremely dynamic. It's going to take that, unless you, like I said, unless you're in those magical conferences. Truthfully, let's be honest. If you're in the SEC, you're in the Big Ten, you got a leg up in this thing. If your name is Notre Dame, you got a leg up in this thing. Everybody else, they're going to have to put in that work.
Because I feel like Penn State is going to be one of them teams, too, once it's said and done. You know, all they got to do is just lose the 2 games they usually lose anyway every year, the games, and you be like, okay, they world beaters. Are they going to beat Ohio State? Nope. Are they going to beat Michigan? Nope. So then, okay, you know, the 2 games they lost, you can't even look at it as bad now that the fact that they got the 12 teams and they could possibly get in from just losing to them teams, because it ain't really that bad to lose to them teams now when you look at it.
Quick question, Guru. If Penn State don't make it in the playoffs, is Franklin gone?
He gone if they lose more than 2 games.
I had to agree with you. I think this is it for him. This is make it or break it for him.
He had his opportunity, I feel like, man.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's been his program for a good, 6-7 years now. If you can't get it done the way they need you to get it done, you know, Penn State got that type of money. They'll send you on your way and try to upgrade.
Funny thing is, now they're even giving you more leeway. You know, it ain't like you're not getting leeway now when all you got to do is just not lose more than 2 games, man. You lose 2, you're pretty sure it'll be a lock. But
right. So, okay, Hugh, here's the thing. If 2 is the magic number this year, that basically if you can't lose more than 2, you're probably not in. What do you think the likelihood is that we're going to see multiple teams that's not in the Power 5 get into the playoffs?
Man, it seems like, well, they're going to have a really strong schedule, because if you don't have the strength of the schedule, if your schedule's not potent enough to where we'll look at it and feel like you beat some world beater teams and you're deserving to get into that actual, you know, playoff slot, I don't think it's going to happen. Like, because I felt like it was unfair last year, too, when you know, some of the teams got in and Florida State didn't get in, and people was like, oh, that's not fair. Now that you see the performance this year when people had them as one of them teams, you know, like maybe a top 5 team coming into the year, and then the low expectations that they gave us, you know, because they were up so high. And I thought, damn, man, you know, they look like a really good team. And I'm not even going to lie to you, I wasn't really too happy when I seen some of the guys that was on Alabama went through the transfer portal and went there. And they did all that just to get that L to Georgia Tech, man. Not only that, one thing that I looked at too, Georgia Tech is probably one of them teams. I wouldn't be surprised that if they're one of the top 12 teams this year, not trying to go overboard with the expectations. But I don't know if you've seen the game, but damn, if they defense play anywhere near as good as they played that first game and stay like that consistently, I think that it'll be a problem, man. They're going to be a problem because of when you look at that, it's like they never struggled on offense. They always been a dynamic team on offense, and that's why they hung and beat so many top 10 teams, because, you know, with that triple option, and now they just really got some talented players over there. And then on top of all that, now you got a strong defense. They got one of the better defensive coordinators in the game to go over there. We thought that he was going to leave and go to another team, you know, especially some of the favorite teams that, like, when some of the coaches on the team that he was on left, you thinking, oh man, he's definitely going to be over there. It's a sure thing that he's going to go to another team. And he settled for Georgia Tech, man. I guess that was more of a bigger challenge for him. And the way they played that game and how they like just really bullied Florida State, if they can continue to stay like that this season, man, I definitely wouldn't be surprised if they in there.
Man, I ain't heard Georgia Tech mentioned so much since the days of Kenny Anderson. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing, Hugh. We pretty much didn't establish if you're a Power 5 team and you go undefeated, more than likely you in this playoff. The question is this. If one of the 9 Power 5 teams go undefeated, regardless of their schedule, should they be in? No. A Liberty, a team like that, should they automatically be in because they're undefeated? Even if it means the fact that they are the only undefeated team and everybody else got 1 and 2 losses.
No, because if they play an okie doke competition, I don't think that's going to fly because the Big 10, SEC, ACC, Big 12, all of those conferences going to look at it and be like, okay, who did they play?
All right, so that leads to my next question, and I think it's going to happen. We've already discussed this between ourselves. Do you think we will get to a point where not only do we have a college playoff, but we have 2 different college playoffs? Because in the end, it's going to be whoever in the Big 10 and SEC, them 2 teams, them 2 conferences going to have their own separate playoff, and then everybody else going to have their own separate playoff. Do you see a day where that happens?
I wouldn't be surprised. I remember I told you last year on the show, man, I wouldn't be surprised that eventually it gets down to, they say, the hell with all these conferences and having all this stuff going on with this conference, that conference. We just going to do like the NFL, the, baseball and all the other leagues. It's going to be just Big 10, SEC. Straight down the middle. That's what I believe. If you a Southern team or anything close to being in the South, you're going to be SEC. And if you just one of the teams, more or less like the teams here, like, and you're not in the South, like in the States, you're going to be in the Big 10. I think they're just going to cut the middleman out eventually. I was telling you that.
I feel like it's more going to be like the Big 10 and SEC going to have like 24 teams apiece. Those 2 conferences going to have their own separate championship. Then the rest of the Power 5 and everybody else, they're going to have their own separate championship. And then just like how the AFL and NFC joined together to make the NFL, it's going to be, okay, the winner of that championship face the winner of that championship. And that's your national champ.
I would be surprised if they finally do that because before, I used to be like, damn, there's too many bowl games. And, this coming from a football fan, like there's too many bowl games. Who is really the best team in college. And now they're trying to set it up like that now. And just glad that they are because we're going to definitely see it get better. And, the playoffs is going to be more set up to the point to where it's going to be almost a pro style. And I know I was looking at the Pat McAfee show and he was saying a lot of people are afraid now that they're doing this 12-team playoff in the way they're doing things now because they feel like it's going to be more NFL-ish. And speaking of NFL-ish, man, I don't know if you heard or not. Did you hear today they approved that the SEC now on Wednesday, if a person's hurt or if, it's like an injury, man, you got to put out an injury report now, man. It ain't like you'll be able to keep quiet and then pop up on game day and play. No, you got to have an injury report and it goes to, he's probable or he's going to be doubtful. You got to put all that out there now to let people know. And it's going to be more like it ain't going to be gamesmanship how it used to be, like how I've been like, well, yeah, I know he's going to play, but we're not going to say anything until game day. No, for the most part, you'll be aware of who playing and who not playing now.
I think for y'all who are college football purists, y'all days of being happy about any of this is about to be over. I think they're going to do everything possible to make this as close to the NFL as they possibly can. I can see them having practice squads, the whole scenario. It's just a matter, because more money is involved in the end. Because remember, you're going to have the NCAA's money and then the actual athletes' money. And those 2 things they're trying to keep separate. But as you already know, there's already discussions that in the end, the NCAA, just like they getting paid, they're going to start paying the players too, as it should have been all along.
Yeah, they supposed to have been breaking off them players, man. That was bad. And I was hearing a lot of reports like, TCU was selling weed at one point. They were selling weed to, make ends meet. And then, we knew about Ohio State when they won the championship the year they was giving away their jerseys and stuff, and selling their rings for like
right, doing the autographs and all that type of stuff. Yeah,
crazy.
Basically the stuff that people getting flicked for back in the day. That's just gonna be a sign of normal now. Hell, even what team is? I think ain't that Oklahoma State that's gonna have the actual barcodes on the back of the helmets that you can scan and pretty much send them Cash App type donations.
That's crazy, man. They really took it to another level, man. And,
welcome to the new college football, y'all.
And it's good too because they should have been paying them boys. We knew that they were the biggest pimps of all time when it came to the alums and the boosters and the people in charge. And now you got to get to the point where, and that's why I think a lot of old school people are upset. I even heard Tom Brady rant when him and Stephen A was talking, man. He was like he wasn't too happy with the direction now. He said because it's not just more of a team anymore. It's a program. And he was saying how back in his day where you have to actually earn your job. And he said at one point where in Michigan where he was like third on the roster as a quarterback and he had to make his way up to be a quarterback and try to start and compete for a position. And we knew how it was back in Alabama when those guys like the Derrick Henrys and stuff would be sitting behind like guys, my man's Josh Jacobs had to sit behind like a Derrick Henry or something like that. The guys had to sit behind each other. Damian Harris was the lead back until he got hurt. Then, that's when Josh Jacobs got his start. And then the Mark Ingrams and, the different guys, who was on the team, they had to wait their turn. And now it's like I'm a 5-star recruit and I'm going to Michigan, Ohio State, Northern Dame, wherever the hell I go. And you telling me I ain't starting that year? Guess what? I'm gonna go somewhere where I feel like my services is needed, and I'm gone. And the best part about it is what they should do. Like, say for instance, if I'm not happy in the first 2-3 weeks of my tenure and I'm not starting, then the third week come and the person get hurt, and then I play and I'll play him. And then the fifth week I got sick. I'm trying to go to another school. I'm giving you 5 weeks, and if I can't get on the field and show my talents, then even as a rookie, or if I just come to a team, I'm leaving. I'm hitting the bricks.
Right, and then because for those of you would be like, well, they supposed to be going to school to learn and whatnot. Come on now, especially now that everybody getting some paper.
It's business now.
If you are a halfway decent football player, you ain't worried about graduate. I mean, it's to the point to where don't even worry about the school NW because in the end, if it don't work out for you, you done made enough money. You can pay your own tuition and go back if you want.
Pretty much, because they get the money now. So I'm definitely glad to see that they're giving them money, and it's well deserved because we've been talking about it, man. We've seen all the scrutiny and the stuff that happened. What pissed me off in the past was they was like, well, how come these guys, doing these things? It's unbelievable. They're selling drugs and they're selling memorabilia. And, like, say, for instance, if a booster wanted to give me an airplane ticket, like I'm broke. Of course, we don't have money like that. But a booster or somebody say, man, we're going to give you some money, man, so you can get an airplane ticket, so you can go to Florida, so you can go to spring break or something. Because remember, it happened before. I forgot the gentleman's name. They played on North Carolina. With what was my man's name? Butch something. I forgot their coach. And I know he got
Butch Davis, you talking about?
Yeah, remember he got kicked out of college and he had to go back and do the NFL network because time he had a really good program over there with the guys, in North Carolina. And I forgot the player's name, man. But he ended up getting a ticket to go to, spring break, him and one of his boys. They didn't have that much money. They had enough, to go out and party, but then it wasn't enough to get, there and get back. And the guy was like, man, I'll give y'all the tickets, man. I'll front y'all the tickets. Y'all don't have to pay me.
Remember, at one point in time, I believe it was Jim Harbaugh who basically got slit for buying a recruit a cheeseburger. I believe that's what it was. It was just so stupid how it went down. Like I said, I'm glad that part of the scenario is no longer part of the scenario.
Yeah, because that made things not interesting at all, man. And now I'm just glad that they're moving along and they're getting with the program now. Because these kids should have been paid back in the 80s, man. We didn't know how at the time.
remember, as I tell you, Hugh, I know a little things. I was in college. Some of my better friends in college was college athletes. It wasn't an issue of them getting paid because, yeah, they was getting paid. I'm here to tell you, but legitimately getting paid and getting paid what you worth is two different things.
Yeah, that's better put. That's definitely better put because they definitely was doing them kids wrong. Like you said, they getting paid, but it was positive. But then a lot of that stuff started to come to light, man. That's when social media and everything started to get big. And social media killed a lot of stuff. So Chris Webber should be not thinking, social media, once it started getting big, that's when we found out about, the stuff that was going on with some of the boosters at Michigan. Then the whole Reggie Bush thing when they was giving him, they broke his mom and dad off, tore them off for them in a new house and, just
right.
a lot of stuff.
And let me say, because, we was off the air during that time, that was definitely the right thing to do, giving Reggie Bush his Heisman back. I'm so glad that they made that correction.
Man, I just wanted to say that too, because why would you take that from him? And now y'all doing NIL deals, and that's one thing that I'm still pissed off about, man. And we'll talk about that another day. But okay, so you just gonna leave Pete Rose out now, and y'all doing FanDuel betting?
Yeah, that is a definitely conversation we can get into.
Oh man,
we definitely will go there someday. But okay, that's pretty much what I got on that end for the college. You ready to move on to the big boys?
Yeah, we can definitely do so, man.
Okay, well, before we do that, let's take a little commercial break. You see, my man, he cooking today, ain't he? I'm liking the energy and keep it going. But we're gonna take a quick commercial break. When we come back to the Sports Guru Sports Perspective, get ready for our NFL 24 preview. I am definitely looking forward to that there. This is, of course, the Sports Guru Sports Perspective. I'm your co-host, E-Buck. That's the man, the mess pen, Hugh Lee. We'll be back after these words from the Nighthawk Network. You know the saying, Nighthawk Network, our voices for our people.
We're not asking for your permission. We're not seeking your approval. We're claiming what's ours in the name of our ancestors. We are their answered prayers. This is more than a movement. This is a revolution. Black innocence. What are yours today?
Nighthawk Network presents Pastor Sean Love. Pastor Sean Love, devoted father and husband, a residing pastor at the River Rouge Bible Assembly in River Rouge, Michigan. Join him as he gives us messages from God's Word, Bible study, and encouragement. You can find him on YouTube under Sean Love. All right, y'all, we are back. It is the Sports Guru Sports Perspective, and we are now ready to do the NFL 24-25 season preview. Who we got going where, who doing what. But my man told me he want to go back to our good old days of the Game Time Audible and throw Audible in on me. So what is it, Hugh? What you got?
Man, I got the top 6 coaches right now that's on the hot seat, and I want to just know from you, how hot is their seat right now in the NFL, and would they possibly say if they lose and they be like 1-5 in the regular season, do you think that they'll be able to keep their jobs, or will they be replaced?
Okay, I'm gonna try to give you a Club Shay Shay type answer. All right, go ahead.
I'm not even putting them in order, but I'm gonna start off. Well, hell, I actually could go in order on this one with 6, and I'm gonna go with Matt Eberflus. How hot is his seat? I want to get a heat check on his seat.
Okay, Matt Eberflus, he is currently the head coach of the Chicago Bears. Yeah, his seat is rather warm. You know what I'm saying? That boy definitely got his cheeks feeling very flush. I think it boils down to simply this: if they don't get in the playoffs, him gone. If they get to about 8 and 9, 9 and 8, he might be able to hold on one more year. Anything under that, him fired.
I definitely got him warm too. It would have been hot if he didn't do this overhaul and just like reload with this young talented squad they have. Yeah, I definitely have him on the warm seat. But then a guy that we already know, man, it's like when it comes to what have you done for me lately, did we overhype this team, or did this team just have their expectations so high that they was going to never live up to it? New York Jets head coach Robert Saleh, how hot is his seat? I want to get a heat check.
Oh, his seat hotter than fish grease, okay? His shit on flame right now. His cheeks is burning. From the hype that it's getting, I ain't gonna lie to you. It's AFC Championship or bust for him. If he ain't there, then he ain't there. Him, especially if Aaron decides to stay one more year after this one, I think that's gonna be the prerequisite. I'll stay, but him gotta go.
I'm definitely going to go scolding on that one too, due to the fact that, like you said, I've been hearing, and you can kind of see that it's a disconnect between him and Rodgers. You can't be beat out with Aaron, man. I believe right now, one of the reasons why he's not too happy with the team is we all know about what was going on with Nate Hatchett. I was hearing that they was talking about trying to get rid of Nate Hatchett, and that's the reason why Aaron Rodgers came over to the team in the first place. So that kind of had a disconnect, but I just don't never think that they really see eye to eye, even when last year started. So yeah, I definitely feel like his seat is very hot right now. And one more bad year, as good as Saleh has been as a defensive coordinator, he'll be back doing that job again somewhere soon, because I feel like he might not be a head coach, but he'll get another job. But it'll be a minute before he get that head coaching job again. I want another heat check. And kind of figure we on the same page with this one. Your American team, Dallas Cowboys, Mike McCarthy. I want a heat check on his seat.
His seat is on fire, burning up. This seat's burning up. Man, that seat is in fuego, okay? It's hotter than a Texas barbecue on an August night. Yeah, he don't have no margins for no error. For him, it's Super Bowl champion or bust. Not only do he got to go, he got to win the whole bang bang, or he up out of there.
Do you feel like they was going all in when they ended up getting Dalvin Cook and having Ezekiel Elliott over there right now? Or you think that what we seen from Dalvin Cook last year is what we possibly might see this year? A lot of injuries and,
Nigga had Dalvin and his brother James. It don't matter. Him gone. Him gone. Consider him toast because he cooked.
I would be. What would you say if something happened? Like I was telling you, like if they go 1-5, and then what do you think happened? Do you think that a man's Jerry Jones? Do you think he'll have enough grapefruits?
Man, now Jerry, as I recall, he ain't never fired nobody mid-season, but they go 1-5. Ooh, them press conferences at the end. Ooh, it's gonna get ugly. And that being said, they also go 1-5. Dak might as well start packing his. Yeah, he ain't getting not ammo dollars from Jerry. They go 1-5.
Okay, I got another coach. I need this heat check. And it's from former Super Bowl contestant who basically went toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes now. And, a lot of people felt like a questionable call here or there might have been the reason why they're not champions. But after that, they underachieved. How do you go 10 games in a row, then lose one game and just fall apart? And you already know who this is, Mr. Nick Sirianni. I want that.
All right, that would be the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. Call me crazy, Hugh, but I don't think his seat really is out of everybody else. It got a little heating pad on it, You can feel a little warmth up under the middle part of the cheeks, but I don't think his seat that hot. I think he got room. They win about 11 or 12. Anything beyond that, he should be fine. Now, if they go under 500, yeah, him got to go. But I think even if they don't, as long as they make the playoffs, I say he out.
I think that seat is hot because the fact is they definitely had high expectations last year, didn't succeed. At one point, they didn't even know if they was going to keep him as a head coach, and they was considering trying to cut him then, but then when they ended up deciding to keep him, I was like, okay, man, I don't think that they'll do anything in the mid-season or anything of that nature, but I feel like a bad season this year definitely have him on his ass and out of there.
Right. Yeah, I think one of the key things that I kept saying all last year, Jalen Hurts was definitely hurt for a good part of last year. I don't care what you say. And the fact that they didn't swapped out the defensive and offensive coordinators and replace them with people they feel be more credible, I think that gives them a little bit more leeway than some of the others we didn't mention.
Okay. Now I want to get to the seat check on New Orleans Saints, Dennis Allen.
Now, see, this is a tricky one for me because me personally, we'll get to that, but I don't see a lot of major things going on there for the Saints this year. And I think if they're realistic about it, they should see it that way too. Now, granted, they get a terrible 5-12 type scenario going, then it's got to go. But I think if he can somehow hover somewhere around 500, that will give him at least one more year. At that point, though, I think the full expectation is whoever's that quarterback at that point, you got to push him aside and go ahead and draft your quarterback. Because don't be surprised if you look up season and week 5 or 6, we got young Spencer Rattler starting that squad. I would not be surprised by that at all.
Your favorite head coach on this list. I feel like the quarterback play is going to cost him his job this year. Hell, it should have cost him his job last year. And I seen in preseason, this guy give up a pick 6, and he gave up 3 interceptions. It ain't as bad as my man's on Dallas Cowboys, the backup Trevor Lance with 5 INTs in a preseason game, but their quarterback is probably one of the worst draft picks in history. And I just don't feel like it's going to cut it this year. I need that seat check on Brian Daboll, New York Giants.
Go and never coming back. He never coming back. He never coming back. Yeah, his seat so hot he can't even sit in it right now. Okay, he already fired. It's just a question of when it's gonna happen. He already done. Okay, he literally is fired, and they already picking who got his spot right now as we speak.
Crazy part.
There's no way, based on that squad I see, that they could even remotely win more than 6 games. That is one of my bold predictions. They will not win more than 6 games. Period.
I already got his replacement. Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick going back home and reuniting from the defensive coordinator who won them 2 Super Bowls to coming back home to New York to coach now.
With all due respect, my brother, I do not see that happening. Based on how much they about to have Bill Belichick on TV this year, between his work he gonna do on ESPN and with Peyton Manning and all that, I think you're gonna have so much fun doing that and dating somebody 3 times younger than him that he ain't gonna want to coach no more.
You know that money talk though, E. That money
And
talk.
he getting that big money, bro. He getting that big money right now.
And don't forget he been on Pat McAfee's show a lot too, man. You know
Yeah, but he gonna be on there once a week. Add that to the stat.
I don't know, E, man. It'd probably be too hard for him to stay away from coaching that long, though.
That brother's 73, Hugh. Come on now.
Yeah. Still,
They
man.
26-year-old.
I definitely think that he'll consider, though, even if he didn't come back. All right, E, I want to talk about the teams and I believe what their win and loss predictions going to be.
All right, so we're going to get into our predictions. Okay.
I want to start off with the AFC South, man. I want to start off with those teams, man. I want to ask, and you tell me what record you think they're going to have at the end of the season.
All right, I got my notes. I'm ready.
All right, starting with the team who nobody expected to play as well as they did. They overachieved, and now it's to the point where I don't feel like still they're going to underachieve because they stacked up so much. Free agency was not only a way for me to say, oh, my God, this team, man, even with a second-year quarterback and could try to compete and go toe-to-toe with anybody in the league right now. I know you got enough hands in. I know you probably know who I'm talking about now. Big up to DeMeco Ryans and the Houston Texans, man, for what they did last year to win a playoff game and beat Cleveland and to go toe-to-toe for at least a half with the Baltimore Ravens, you know, but just they didn't have enough talent. Now they do have talent. Houston Texans, man, what do you think about their win and loss record?
Okay, well, I got the Houston Texans winning that division and going 12-5. They are even one of my sleeper picks to actually make it to the Super Bowl. You know, it was definitely the big shock of last year, how well they played overall, particularly with a rookie quarterback. You know, a lot of people didn't have that type of respect they should have had for JT Stroud, but he showed improved and then some. And I think it only gets better for him. He didn't improve his knowledge of the game. He didn't improve the weapons around him. They didn't improve the defense even. I'm hard-pressed to not see them pretty much run roughshod over everybody else in their division and win several other games as well. One of the better games this season is going to be when they actually play our Detroit Lions in the year. Definitely looking forward to that. Yeah, I got them winning the division 12-5, one of the best records in the league.
I definitely feel like they're going to be doing well, too. The crazy part is we're not too far off, man. I still have them winning the division, but I had them going 11-6 this season.
Okay. All right. I can see that.
I was trying to see. I thought something came up big, but no, they were just kind of hyping me up, man. They shouldn't have played with me like that. But anyway, I want to go back and I want to talk about the next team. First and foremost, they had a rookie quarterback, and he was doing pretty good, man. I thought that even though they made the playoffs still, I feel like this is going to be Anthony Richardson's year where he's going to have the rookie, you know, situation where he might stumble and hit that ball, man. I still feel like the Indianapolis Colts going to be a good team, but I don't know if they'll be able to make the playoffs this up and coming season. But I want to know what you feel like as far as their win-loss, or they how many games that they will win.
Okay, I got them finishing 9-8. Reason being, I think because what we saw in the preseason is a lot of teams really didn't choose to play their starters much. Preseason meaning even less than it has for most teams. That being said, I think he's going to kind of get off to somewhat of a slow start, trying to get reacclimated to the league and whatnot. And then I think later on in the season, they'll start to cook a little more. So that's why I got them going 9-8. I think most of the teams they beat will probably be in their division or some of the weak ones that's on their schedule. So yeah, I see them going 9-8, but I could easily see it being 8-9. Definitely on the come up, but not quite ready for prime time.
Yep, I got them 8-9 this year too, man. I think that they're just not going to be quite there, but we're going to see some good. We're going to see some, hardship in this, but I think we're going to see a lot more good than we do bad, and I believe that they'll rebound once he gets fully healthy and recover, and not only that, to have a full NFL season under him. So yeah, I think
that's definitely one of those teams. If you wanted the betting people, that I wouldn't bet for or against them in most games because you're not gonna know how they're gonna play from week to week.
I want to go now with your homeboys. He one of the better teams. We was always being compared to them, and it was like the Detroit Lions of the South. And they played so well that everybody had high expectations in them too, and they didn't really succeed. They didn't do what we thought that they would do last year. But this is the year now where maybe they may rebound, maybe they won't. But I definitely got this duo as one of my favorite duos in football. Your boy Travis Etienne and Trevor Lawrence, the Jacksonville Jaguars. What is your predictions on win and loss record for the Jaguars?
Now, you remember when I used to tell you about Travis Etienne back when I was watching him over there in Clemson? I'm going to put you up on him. Remember that? You remember. Anyway,
what I used to call him, I didn't know it's real. I thought I used to call him Travis Etienne.
Yeah. I do recall that. But okay, here's the thing. I got them going 10-7. I think they have a slightly lesser year than last year. Remember, they just missed the playoffs last year. But that's because they lost crucial games, and Trevor Lawrence did get hurt at one point. He played through most of it, but he still wasn't quite himself later on in the year. I think he had the bounce back year. I think he has a good year for them. I just think the defense is going to take a little step back. And because of that, they'll win games you think they should win, but they definitely going to have a couple of weeks where it's going to be like, dang, they suck. I definitely see them getting blew out in a couple games. So because of that, I put them right there on the edge of maybe making the playoffs, but definitely finishing second behind Houston.
I definitely got them actually a game behind that. I got them at 10-7.
Yeah, that's why I'm at too, 10-7.
Horrible. 49ers Brandon Ayuk reached an agreement on a 4-year extension worth $120 million per Adam Scheffler.
Well, all righty then. Look who finally got their dough. And then there was one. And we'll talk about him in a minute.
Dude,
everybody was saying he should get about $30 million. That puts him right about $30 million. That works for me.
But what is that going to lead Deebo Samuels now, man?
Well, somebody ain't going to get paid on that squad because remember, if they done made that deal, I'm only expecting that sometime in the next 48 hours, they'll be announcing Trent Williams' new deal too. Because they need him even more than they need Ayuk.
If they would have lost Ayuk and kept Trent Williams, I wouldn't have lost no sleep because, like you said, they need him more because not only he's been one of the better, tackles in the league, he is the best tackle in the league, and he damn near 40, if not 40 already.
He may very well be one of the best left tackles ever.
The crazy part, I was calling out my boy, and I know he probably looking at me now like, yeah, I got the last laugh. We thought that at the time when Donovan McNabb was over there with Washington, that's how long ago it was, when they were still being able to call that team the Redskins, we thought that Russell Okung was the better prospect. And that dude could never stay healthy. And here we got a 40-year-old Trent Williams who's the best, and he's the anchor of that team. And without him, I feel like it'd be dire than if they didn't keep him. I feel like they wouldn't even be a contender. So yeah, to get Brandon Ayuk, that's good, and it's a good feeling for him. It was worth him getting his bag. He got his bag, but at the same time, though, man, you need that man Trent Williams, though.
Okay. since we talking some updates, I got one on my phone, and of course it's not football related, but allow me to slip it in right quick. Did you see the one about the extension that they gave Steph Curry today, adding one more year to his contract?
62.5 million. Yeah, they broke him off. So that's
here's the thing. Seeing that wasn't even for this year or next year, that was for the year after. Do you think at this point that's where he said, okay, after this, when I'm done?
I definitely believe so. Because when is that up? Like 2026, 2027?
26, 27, yep.
Yeah, I think after that year, he possibly.
I believe Steph will be about 38, 39 in.
Yeah, because we seeing a lot of crazy stuff. Like,
right, we already know that Draymond said after his contract's up, he's done. And I think that puts him 1 year after Draymond, or that might actually put them leaving at the same time even.
Yeah, because there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. When we seen this Olympic team, you know what we were saying? We was like, damn, they're too old. They got to get young now. And I can see it now, man. I don't think that, like I told you, man, we definitely agreed. I don't see LeBron or Steph and some of them guys, like the older guys, coming back to the Olympic team in 2020.
No, the LeBrons and KD and Steph, that should have been their last Olympics. Even though they probably would have some type of motivation to want to be there, seeing that it's going to be in LA in 28, particularly LeBron. But I think LeBron will be like 43 at that point.
Yeah, I don't see it.
And here at that point, I think his other son will be in the league. So who knows?
Bryce. Yeah, that was big, man. It was
right.
Deserved though, because at first that was like a little friction when they were saying he didn't erased them on social media and wouldn't follow them no more. And I was like, man, I don't know about all that, man. They just out there to put it out there, and then that's all of a sudden, when they said that, that's when that contract popped up.
Right. Even though we on pre-record today, I had to throw that in for our good buddy Pride Hunter, our basketball person here in the network. I had to throw that in for you, brother.
Tennessee Titans, man. I feel like they lost Derrick Henry, they lost their coach, and they lost a lot, man. Hell, I look at them right now, and I feel like they're still trying to load up right now, and they're trying to do to help their franchise quarterback, man. And when they ended up getting Calvin Ridley over there, but I still look at it, and I still got a lot of question marks. I got more question marks than I have answers for that team. I would tell you my win-loss prediction, but I definitely feel like it's not good. I don't see them going to the playoffs this year or maybe even next few years.
Oh, no, they ain't going nobody playoff. I actually got them with the worst record in the AFC South, finishing 4-13. And I'm kind of shaky on that, to be honest. It really depends on how well Will Levis can get the football to the decent receiving core that they have. But I think based on the rest of that squad, it might be a couple games they sneak and win. But I'm hard pressed to see them winning more than 4. I just can't see it.
I got them winning like 5. I was generous. I gave them 5.
Yeah, I would agree.
Okay, now that we got them out the way, we got the AFC South. Now I'm about to go to the AFC West. Your reigning defending Super Bowl champions, Kansas City Chiefs. What do you have them as your win and loss record?
I have the Kansas City Chiefs winning the AFC West again for the 7th time in a row. No doubts about it. They are the 2-time defending Super Bowl champions, and they only got better in this offseason. I'm hard pressed for you not to say they're going to win their division again. It only makes sense to do that when the 2 glaring issues that they had was that people weren't catching that football, and they definitely got better receivers now. And sometimes they had trouble getting the ball out there deep. And they got some of the better deep threats in the league now. So, yeah, I'm definitely picking them to win that division, and it ain't even going to be a race. I got them finishing 13-4 with the best record in football.
I got them going 12-5. I got them going 12-5, winning that division. And when you see the games that I predict in the division, you're going to know why. 12-5, and the rest of the teams are not even going to be close, honestly. Surprise, you're going to see a surpriser in there, but most of the teams still won't be close. And I want to start off now saying we got a new coach. You know, we lost our Michigan Wolverine coach, who we thought we was going to lose in the first place. He's with the pros now, Los Angeles Chargers. And I feel like for a beginning for him, I think this is going to actually, you're going to see some good and you're going to see some bad struggles with that team. But I think eventually he'll get that team together. What do you think that as far as their win and loss records coming into the 2024 season?
Of course, I wish the great Jim Harbaugh luck. You accomplished your mission. You did what you had to do. You won your national championship. Of course, there's talk about what they might do in terms of vacations and all that. Whatever. Anyway, you in the NFL now. You are a good NFL coach. I think that will definitely shine through at times this year. But also, it will show that your team still gonna need some more players later on down the line in order to be championship contenders. So as a result of that, I have them going 8-9 this year. I think, like you said, it's gonna be some good and some bad, and we're gonna see both. And you know, he got time. They definitely gonna give him some leeway with that.
Definitely got them going 8-9 myself. That's what I was saying. That was the actual surprise team as far as when it came to the AFC West, because the other teams are not going to make the playoffs and it's going to be like some mediocre records too. But I just don't see why I'm wrong. And if anybody can prove me wrong, I mean, I would like to hear it. But at the same time, I'm just going by for what I feel. And what
okay, well, I think we about to butt heads because throw that next team out there.
Las Vegas Raiders.
Okay, we're not going to butt heads about that one. Raiders are going to be one of the worst teams in the league without a shadow of a doubt. It's not even – I mean, I hate it because, you know, I definitely want their head coach to succeed in life. I like that dude as a person. I like that dude as a head coach. He just ain't got a lot to work with. And bottom line is the Raiders are going to need some more receivers and some more quarterback. Because as much as we like to talk about good old Uncle Rico.
Yeah, that's my man. I love him.
I don't think he's quite ready to get the job done the way we need him to. I got them going 4-13. It's the sad truth of the matter. You know, I like me some Raiders, but they just ain't got enough weapons. And in that division, they're gonna get beat up a lot. Okay. Now, that leaves one more team in the division, Hugh. And I'm just gonna go ahead and jump you on this one because you thinking they're gonna be not quite so good. I'm thinking they're gonna be a little bit better than advertised. I think what we're gonna learn this year is that dude Bo Nix is all right. He all right. And I think we're gonna learn that head coach, he all right. It might be it was Russ all along. Because based on some of the stuff, and granted, you know, I don't put a lot of stock in preseason. But I've seen enough in that preseason to let me know, yeah, if he runs the system the way he wants him to, I can see that team being 9-8 this year. That's what I got them going, 9-8. Not quite good enough to get to the playoffs, but definitely an improvement over last year.
Yep, good to go. Good to know. But I don't have them winning 9 games. I have them winning 6.
All right, let's hear it.
Yeah, I feel like they're going to be a decent team, but I feel like they're going to have their hiccups, man. I still feel like they're going to have a really good defense. They still got some core players over there, but I just think it's going to be a down year. It's going to be one of those years where you're going to see flashes from Knicks, but I don't think that it's going to be his year quite yet. I think he's going to have some growing pains, and I think that team's going to be one of those teams that you look at like, well, yeah, man, I think that they'll be looking good and they'll be even competing next season. But I just don't think they'll be quite there this year yet.
I think Sean Payton is a good enough offensive coordinator and a good judge of quarterback overall for the most part. I think he's going to show people why they wanted Sean Payton in the first place. I think they get it done. I'm sticking with my 9-8, bro.
I want to go over to the AFC East teams, and I want to start off with the winner of the division, the Buffalo Bills.
All right, call me crazy, but I actually don't have them winning the division this year. I do not. I have them going 10-7. I say they have a good year. I think them not having that dude Diggs is going to cost them. I think we learned this year that if we basically let Josh Allen try to run a normal offense where he is not playing Superman at times, that's not going to be in a better interest. I think we will learn later on in the season that, okay, in order for us to go to that next level, I got to go back to start doing some of the stuff I was doing with running over people and trying to make everything based on my power arm and my big old body. And that's the only way we're going to get to that next level. Because if we play it normal in this division, the way it's set up, we only going to get so far. So, no, I do not have them winning the division. I do have them 10-7.
Funny thing is this, too. I have them going 10-7, but I still feel like the worst thing they could have did was let Stephon Diggs go. I don't think that these guys gonna click like that, like everybody think. They think that Keon Coleman just gonna go in and just be a world beater. He's gonna be a big physical receiver, but I don't think that it's gonna be really an explosive, like super explosive year for him. I still feel like Miami is going to be the crown victors this year in that division. But yeah, man. Sometimes when he played hero ball, Josh Allen, some of the people basically in the NFL said that he's the most overrated, quarterback in the league. And the funny thing about it is when you look at his interception, and turnover ratio, some of you guys might agree. I'm not saying fully like that. I don't know how overrated they saying he is, but they said he was the most overrated. But in the last 2 years, he definitely did help his case because he had like 32 interceptions and 9 turnovers. So yeah,
I would definitely say if you're a person that like quarterback play and you can't get Mahomes when you playing Madden, Buffalo probably ain't a bad choice to go with. But no, I actually do also have Miami winning that division. I actually have Miami going 12-5.
Yeah.
I know for those of you who know the game, you're gonna be like, well, y'all know that thing about Miami. Miami straight as long as they're in a nice warm weather environment. When it gets cold, that's when they have trouble. But again, they are one of the 5 teams that's going to play more warm weather and dome games than not. And because of that, I think that's to their advantage. They are definitely a track star team, much like the greatest show on turf was back in the day for the LA Rams, or the St. Louis Rams, I should say. So, yeah, I definitely think that they stay healthy because that was really what the problem was last year for Miami. They got unhealthy, particularly on defense. They stay healthy. I definitely see them actually winning that division over Buffalo and the team that you're probably going to name next.
Because when they lost their 2 ends, man, it was just sad. Bradley Chubb and Phillips. I said, damn, how you lose both ends? And when they lost my man, Bradley Chubb, they lost him at the end of that Ravens game. So
right.
And if they're healthy and that team play the way they've been playing, I definitely see them.
Right. And both running backs was hurt at some point during the year. I think actually even Tyreek Hill missed the game, as I recall. So yeah, it was rough.
Your New York Jets. Jets, Jets.
Call me crazy, but I actually had them being 10-7 as well. Not winning the division, but definitely having a good season. Will that 10-7 be good enough to get them in the playoffs? Maybe. Don't be surprised if they actually get off to a good start and then get to jacking up in the middle of the season and then finish strong. That's pretty much how I see it going. They get off to a decent start. About 4 or 5 games in, they kind of go through a little issue. And because it's New York, they're going to make a big deal out of it. But then, Aaron Hall going to have – not Aaron Hall, look at me. Aaron Rodgers is going to have one of his just relaxed type moments. And then they're going to tighten up and finish strong. But I don't know if that 10-7 get them in the playoff. It might.
I think they're going to be more banged up than not. And I don't think it's going to be Aaron Rodgers. I believe he's going to have some games where he's going to be banged up and still play through it after what happened last season. But I think they'll be on the cusp, but they'd probably be on the outside looking in. You have them at 10-7. I had them at 9-8.
All righty. Do we even need to go here, man?
I thought that they already lost the season when Jacoby Brissett started. he's always going to be a journeyman. They got one of the worst lines in the league. The defense usually be decent, but they don't really got nobody on offense besides the quarterback that I can even really talk about. We're going to say the New England Patriots. What do you think their record is going to be?
My bold prediction, the New England Patriots. No, sorry, I got to put the glasses back on. That's unkiller. The New England Patriots are going to have the worst record in the National Football League. They are going to finish this season 2-15. 2-15.
I had them at 3-14. So yeah, we ain't that far apart.
I don't even have nothing else to say about it. Next.
We about to go to the AFC North now, starting with the conference championship game rematch that's going to be on next Thursday. Baltimore Ravens.
All right. Yeah, once again, I got Baltimore winning that division. I got them going 12-5. We already know what it boils down to is two things. One, do King Henry still got stuff left in the tank? Because if he do, oh boy, it's going to be a pick your poison type deal. Oh, y'all going to shut down the offense and not let Lamar Jackson throw it to the receivers? No problem. We're going to run you to death with him and King Henry. You're going to line up in the box and shut down King Henry with all them people? Or we're just going to go ahead and let my man Lamar Jackson do his thing and get the scrambling and airing that boy out. And we already know how good that defense is going to be yet again this year. So, yeah, they definitely going to be one of the better teams in the league. I definitely had them winning that division with that 12-5.
Yeah, I got them 12-5 too. I just feel like they're not going to really miss a beat from last season, and depends on how well my man's Derrick Henry play. But then at the same time, you still got a lot of good youth over there too in Banks, and you just see just how well that team play, man, especially when they're healthy. You got one of the better tight ends too, with Andrews. So yeah, I definitely see them doing well, and just basically letting people know they ain't no fluke, because I believe that it's a possibility that they might be back in the conference championship game. So yeah, I got high hopes on them, and I want to go with another team because most times the AFC North we beat the hell out of each other when it comes to them and their competition, but hopefully a happy and a healthy Cincinnati Bengals team, because now most of the guys look like they're going to be in health. But the happy part is now that we see Brandon Ayuk got his bag, man, I want to know what's going to happen within the next few days with Jamar Chase and how he's going to feel about that, because them are the two.
There we have the thing. There's the rub. Okay. My whole thing is this. It is very important for them to get him signed before the end of the week. Before Labor Day, that man needs to be under contract as at least the second highest paid wide receiver in the NFL. Anything less than that is disrespectful and wrong and should have been happened, much like it should have happened with everybody else. I mean, I understand a lot of these people, they was not due to have their contract up until this year, but once the floodgates open and they open Pandora's box, this is how much receivers get. Thank you, Amon-Ra St. Brown, for setting the market, by the way. Then, yeah, we need to now plug everybody in so we have our good receiver. In the end, we already know T. Higgins probably feel disrespected no matter what you do this season. He leaving. So you most definitely have to re-sign Jamar Chase. That is the whole key to that season. If they don't get him signed before week 1, I have them going 10-7. If they do get him signed, so he got a little time for practice and whatnot, I got them going 11-6. Not enough to win the division, but I definitely see them as being a playoff team. Remember, I got a few teams in the AFC going 10-7. That's why going back to the whole Buffalo thing, I don't know if that gets them in. It's going to be one of those, okay, margin of error and games played and points and all of that.
Yeah, I got them boys at 10-7 too, man. Hopefully they can re-sign him or get him that bag. A lot of people saying, but he had 2 years left on his contract. It's better to sign him now than to sign him.
Matters not. You got to go with the flow. The flow right now is if you got that quality wide receiver, pay him now.
You mess around and do something silly like you basically say, well, we ain't gonna pay him this year. We'll try to pay him next year. That's when the market goes up. So pay him now. Right. While you can.
Because I ain't even gonna lie to you. When we get to the NFC side, it's a receiver. If he do what I think he's gonna do, you're gonna need to pay him now. And he ain't but a rookie.
I want to hit it off with now your Cleveland Browns.
I'm from Detroit, thank you. I'm not claiming nothing, Cleveland. My name ain't LeBron. You got me smurfed up. But anyway, yeah, I got Cleveland going 8-9. I'm praying that I'm wrong. One of the people definitely in my prayers as far as this year's NFL season is Deshaun Watson. Once upon a time, that man looked like he was on a trajectory to be an NFL great. He was doing good in the community. I love what he was doing when he was a member of the Houston Texans and looking out for the lunch people and all of that. Those things have been forgotten, of course, because of the big ass scandal that he got into later on down the line. I think this year is not only just important for his football career, I honestly feel like it's important for his life, for his future legacy, all of that. I need him to have a good year and get back to being the Deshaun Watson that he was before all this so that he can be a better person in the long run. I need him to be healthy. I need him to play well. I need him to get it in. I'm going to assume that happens, but yet Cleveland going to have a tougher road this year because that division is so hard. That's why I get them 8-9.
Yeah, I gave them 9-8, but I still feel like it's not going to be enough to get them in the playoffs due to the fact that it's sad too, because you can start seeing Deshaun Watson starting to feel like his regular self after having that injury, but he just never really recovered from that. He basically still having issues right now with the injuries. And that injury, I said, damn, man, that couldn't happen at a worse time. But the crazy part about it is they had Joe Flacco, man, and he was on a whole nother level. And DTR started stepping his game up, man. And, he's starting to become one of those players that you got to watch out for, man. We always felt like that in college. But I just don't feel like they'll have enough this year. And unfortunately,
I honestly feel like if he don't get it done this year, Hugh, they got to finish paying him his contract, obviously, it being fully guaranteed. But after that, him done. I don't even think he get in the UFL after that. Real talk.
Yeah, so it's a make or break year for him, man. Hopefully he can stay healthy and do what he needs to do because of them injuries and just, not playing part. You know how it is in the NFL, man. This is what have you done for me lately league. And if he don't do what he needs to do, yeah, man, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, like the saying goes, NFL, not for long.
We about to go over to the NFC part of things now. And
whoa. You can't do that yet. It's one team you didn't mention. Look at your notes.
Yeah, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
How can you forget about that? That's probably going to be the biggest storyline of any team in the NFL this year. How long will they let Russ cook?
I'm going to give him 2 games.
I would give him 3, but that being said, as much as we like Coach Tomlin over there, I think his streak ends this year, Hugh. Every year he's had a winning season. I think this is the year where that finally changes. I got them going 7-10, regardless of who ends up being the quarterback in the end.
I got them going 6-11, and I just don't feel like it's going to be enough for them to even survive. And it's a possibility now that your man start to get frustrated with everything. I think the last time they was in the playoffs and won a playoff game was like 2016, 2015, something like that. That was a while ago, man. It's like, yeah, they made the playoffs, but you haven't won a playoff game. Man, I don't think that this year, if they don't succeed, that this would be enough to. Well, it'll probably keep his job for another year or so, but yeah, man, I don't really see it really saving him as much because they might give him leeway, like, okay, this was the year you ain't make the playoffs, but I don't think it'll be back-to-back years of them doing that. I think they'll give him a little leeway, and then after that, man, they'll let him go.
I don't think his job was in danger last year. I don't think it's in danger this year. Hell, I think he could actually go 3-14 and still would have one more year. Pittsburgh different. They are big on loyalty in Pittsburgh with the Rooneys as the owner. Remember, it's the reason why that team in all these years of football have only had 3 head coaches ever. Ever. Think about that, Hugh. That team is over, 60 years old? Chuck Noll, the coach that now, of course, is at CBS, Coach Cowell, and Coach Tomlin. That's it. Them 3. That's it. Think of how many coaches we done had in that time.
And they did some premature firings on some of them too, man, especially with the Caldwell. But that's another day.
But that being said, remember, of all the coaches that's been coaches, and at the same time, them 3 have been coaches, much like those 2, and probably Tomlin also. When they done with Pittsburgh, they're done. When they done over here with the Lions, they're done. None of those coaches have ever went on to be a head coach nowhere else.
I agree. Now I would definitely apologize for that one. And then because I really feel like when it came to the preseason, I've seen some hope in Justin Fields. You see some stuff like, yeah, he got potential, he got hope. But then when you seen Russ, in a way, it's like you can't really blame it all on Russ because that O-line is not that good at all, But they're definitely upgrade from Mitchell Trubisky and Mason Rudolph and those guys
and of course Pickett, absolutely. Agreed.
We can move on now to the NFC West, and I want to start off with the person who just got paid today, and I want to start off with the San Francisco 49ers. I want to know what you predict is their win and loss record.
All right, we're flipping over my notes here. Okay. I have San Francisco 49ers having one of the better records in the league. I have them winning that division at 12-5. Remember, they almost did it last year. That game in the Super Bowl did go to overtime, by the way. And pretty much now that they have IU together, as long as they get Trent Williams in the building this next week or so, they are a slightly better team than last year. They are a veteran team that has been together for a while. They do have one of the better offensive coordinators in the game. I don't see any of that changing anytime in the next few months. So I definitely put them right up there with the elite teams in the league at 12-5.
I don't know what it is, but Kyle Shanahan just have to do better when it comes to like the Super Bowl because he make bold and bad decisions, man. We've seen several times. We've seen with the Jimmy G era San Francisco that they laid an egg. We definitely seen one of the worst eggs laid in the world with the Atlanta Falcons. It just seems like he got to get over that hump, man, because, he's great during the regular season, but his decision making is just very mediocre when it comes to the Super Bowl. So I'm just hoping he step his game up on that note. But yeah, man, they better pray that Trent Williams get that deal too, man. Give him something, give it to him quick, because without Trent Williams, I don't think they'll be that good of a team. So right now, since he hasn't signed, I'm gonna give them 11-6, but they'll win that division though.
All right. Quick program update for those of you who have been following me on the platform known as WTA Radio. I'm probably on right now as we're doing the show, and we'll be on tonight from 8:30 to 12 p.m. with the shows Get Off This Lawn and the Chill Zone. So basically after you pop in and out, go ahead and check that on out for me. All right, carrying on. 49ers is that. Who we got next?
Los Angeles Rams.
All right. The Rams, I got them at 10-7. I was actually kind of surprised that they made the playoffs last year, to be honest. It wasn't looking good early on in the season, but they kind of straightened up in that. They are most definitely going to miss one of the better defenders all of the NFL and young Aaron Donald. It's not going to be the same defense without him. I think that's why it's 10-7. Matthew Stafford still got stuff left in the tank. Keep in mind, he definitely got two of the better receivers in football when you look at Cooper Kupp and, of course, the rookie sensation that was Puka Nacua. With both of them on the squad healthy at the same time, I'm kind of hard-pressed not to see that offense flourishing. Decent running back is Williams. I see them doing 10-7, probably winning more of their games that's in the division than anything else.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they go 10-7 because a lot of the good stuff that happened, of course, because of how disruptive Aaron Donald is, and that got a lot of people open to get sacks, but they still have a pretty good front, a lot of good rookie talent who stepped up. Like you said, the offense is going to be there. I feel like Stafford going to do his thing. That's a division that's going to be tough too. But I definitely feel like they can do enough to possibly squeak into the playoffs, into the round again. Your Seattle Seahawks.
Again, I point out to my good brother Hugh, I'm from the D. They ain't my Seahawks. I'm claiming the D and the D only. But anyway, Seattle Seahawks, I got them going 7-10. It's time for gravity to finally catch up with the Seahawks, okay? I feel like they have overachieved the last 2 seasons. Part of that to the expense of my Lions. This year, when they play my Lions, they're not winning, okay? We beating that ice. We beating that ice, okay? And several other teams also going to beat that ice. I think we finally learned that, okay, my man's was cooking the last couple of years, but it's time to go on ahead and slow it down a little bit. It's time to start looking for his replacement. Mr. Smith, I think you got one more good year, and it's probably it right here. And the running game is going to be your saving grace, either or. So basically, if K9 can get it, that would be Kenneth Walker III, can get to running the ball effectively and not get hurt, y'all might do all right. But beyond the realm of that, we know you got the big receiver Metcalf. After that, it kind of goes down from there. So, I'm looking at 7-10. Y'all just not going to get it done this year. It ain't happening.
I got them 6-11. I still feel like some of the games that they won, and there's not going to be like them close games that they'll be able to squeak out. And I just don't feel like this is going to be a year to where they'll be looking up. I think that they're going to have a lot of turnover. But not only that, I still feel like it's going to be a lot going on in that division that'll keep them. Because if we still feel like that, the Rams will be 10-7, I'm not thinking that the Seattle will do good at all. So I got them at 6-11.
Hey, like I said, we about the same place with it. So that, of course, leaves what team, Hugh?
The Arizona Cardinals.
Now, here's the thing. Because it's much worse teams in the NFL this year than Arizona, I'm not going to dog them, but I still don't see them having no great season. I kind of went back and forth. I'm going to put them now at 6-11. I really think they're going to sneak up on a few people this year and probably beat Seattle when they're in Arizona and sneak up on a couple other folks. So I'm giving them 6-11. Kyler Murray, being Kyler Murray, he going to have a couple games where you're going to be like, yeah, that's why they should have kept Kyler Murray. But then he's going to have a couple games like, Is he not studying that playbook again? I don't get it. Now, the key for Arizona is to play some decent defense and to develop their biggest new weapon. That would be Marvin's kid, Marvin. Because if he is as explosive as I think he's going to be, he is definitely going to be a factor for that squad. And I say that if he is that factor for them, pay him now. Don't even wait to the end of his rookie contract. Pay him at the end of the year. Pay him now, like all the other receivers. Break him off.
Funny thing is, E-Man, I actually had them a game higher than what we picked to Seattle. I have them 7-10.
Okay. What's your rationale on that one, my brother?
I think that they're gonna do okay, but I don't feel like they're gonna just do like what I thought at first. And I was like, because they still got a lot of hope over there. They lost a few people and what have you. It might be unfortunate for my man Kyler Murray, but yeah, I think that they'll play well, but I don't think that they'll do as well to make the playoffs this year. So yeah, I just feel like right now they just don't have enough. But the crazy thing is, I'm saying that, but some games they looked really good last year, offense and defensively. Like we thought that they were just gonna run. We thought Dallas Cowboys was gonna run over them last year, and that's when we seen that hiccup with them to where we said they are who we thought they were with Dallas, and it definitely materialized. But yeah, man, the Arizona Cardinals wasn't as bad as I thought they were last year. But yeah, I would go even if I had to, I can go 8 games. But I just don't feel like they could go 8-9. I just don't think they'll be quite there yet.
Yeah, I think that might be pushing it, but I definitely see them being a little bit better than people may think they're going to be.
I think they'll be one of them teams that could play spoiler too at the end of the season.
Agreed.
All right, we about to go over to the NFC North. I'm going to start off with the Green Bay Packers.
I have a comment. I'm going to keep that to myself. But Green Bay Packers, yeah, they're going to have a good season, I think. Jordan Love, he appears to be the real deal. It's something about letting those kids kind of sit and observe before you put them in. That works for Green Bay, obviously, when you look at their overall history. Definitely got some good receivers, young. They all growing up in the system together. I think part of the problem before was that Aaron Rodgers wanted to run his own style of offense, and the head coach had something different in mind. I think now everybody over there is on the same page. They also have a good defense. They always seem to have a pretty decent defense for the Packers. It's crazy how the one team in the NFL that has no real actual owner is a team that runs relatively well. And they seem to make good overall business decisions in terms of the player personnel. I got them going 11-6. Definitely not winning the division, though.
I got them boys 10-7.
Okay. I'm going to safely assume that does not win the division either.
No. Chicago Bears, they did a rehaul, man. They didn't up their ante. They decided not to go with Justin Fields. We was all trying to figure out what was going to happen with him, and he didn't do that bad last year, but just not enough to stay. And they just did like an overhaul, man. They didn't sign, they got a good draft pick in the Doomsday, Caleb Williams, back-to-back good picks. And yeah, man, I just feel like now getting Keenan Allen over there going to help them too. And they kept DJ Moore over there and signed him to a nice deal. I think it might have been a little bit of a discount if you ask me. But they got some good players, good talent, and reloaded over there, man. How do you feel like the Chicago Bears is going to do?
See, I'm looking for my angry shades because you're starting to make me angry. And you know why. I hate that we've been talking about NFC North at this point in the show. We should have put them a little further back, but let me put these back on and calm down. Okay, the Chicago Bears. Basically, I'm calling them the Chicago Build-A-Bears this season because what it boils down to is, okay, we don't like this quarterback. You can go somewhere and do what you do. We want this guy. Look, dude, we know you good at Legos, okay? So what we're going to do is put you here and give you some of the best Legos you ever played with. And we want you to use them Legos and build the best Lego structure that you can. So that's my analogy for Caleb Williams and the weapons that he has been given. Putting those two in combination got to equal something good in the end. If it don't, then Eberflus you up out of there. They're going to run you out of Chicago on the first thing smoking. But that being said, is this a playoff team? Some people actually seem to feel like they could be. I don't think so. I gave them 7-10. 7-10. I think more of those wins will come later on season as opposed to Caleb is definitely going to have his share of growing pains early on, just because so much attention is going to be put on him and what he is able or not able to do.
Yeah, I had got them at 8 and 9. I feel like you said, they're gonna have a rough start and then they're gonna get it together, kind of like how they did last year. But by that time, it's gonna be too little, too late. Unfortunately for this team, they lost their quarterback before the season even started. When they ended up losing him, I said, "Oh, it's not looking good for you guys right now." The Minnesota Vikings.
Needless to say, the Minnesota Vikings is going to finish last in the division. They're going to have one of the worst records in football. It's just circumstance, unfortunately. They may do with what they had last year and actually almost made the playoffs last year. That team is not this team. That Minnesota is definitely not this Minnesota. I think the schedule is going to be tougher for them. I think them having the quarterback issue that they have. I hate what happened to J.J. McCarthy as a Michigan man, of course. But, yeah, I'm hard-pressed to see them winning more than 5 games this year. I got them at 5-12.
Yeah, me too. I also had them at 5-12. Now I want to talk about the Detroit Lions. How do you feel?
It's about damn time. Damn. The hell was you waiting on?
You think
I want to talk about my Lions.
You think I'm gonna rush and talk about them first in that division? You should
have saved them for last, damn it. Anyway, of course I got the Lions winning the division. Yeah, I'm talking my stuff. After all them years where we would have got to this part of the show, and I've been like, man, we got to talk about my Lions. You know they're going to get their butt whooped again. Not this year. This year, we coming. We coming, and we ain't no punks. We ain't no punks no more. Lions fans, stand the hell up. Say it with your chest. We winning the division. I'm drinking my Kool-Aid, and it is good. And I put ice in it. And I want a second cup when I'm done. It's the Lions winning the division. 12-5 again. Why this 12-5? Well, like I said, people know we coming. Some people, they're going to be ready for us. Most people ain't, but a few of them, they're going to be like, yeah, bring your bad ass on. We got something for you. Because it boils down to this. Yeah, we know offensively we're going to have one of the better offenses in all the NFL. Our defense, it's going to be better. We definitely going to have better secondary. We're going to have some better people on that line. Linebackers, I'm still kind of, we're going to have a few games where we're going to see the Lions be like, man, I don't know. Some still ain't quite gelling right. But those games should hopefully be few and far between. So I got them at 12-5. But my Lions, I'm claiming them hard. With hair on my chest.
I got them not slipping this year and actually going 13-4. I got them win the extra game this year.
So it sounds to me you think they're gonna have one of the best records in football.
Yep.
The Lions. You understand what you're saying?
Yep, exactly.
The Detroit Lions.
If they can stay healthy, yeah, I definitely think they got a shot.
Hugh, if you came from the past 5 years ago and heard you talking like this now, when you think you was crazy?
Probably. Because when you think about it, you think about that defense wasn't even great at all last year. And they fucked us on one of the games. And if that game would have been the difference, we would have been ahead of everything would have went through Detroit. Think about that, man. Last year when our defense,
I am thinking about that.
When it came to quarterback play and they was getting toasted, if they didn't mess up on that game with Dallas, we would have been the number 1 seed.
Indeed. But yeah, I got the Lions. And I said it. And I meant it.
All right,
and this is the year that before y'all would be laughing when I said that. I don't hear nobody out there laughing now.
One funny thing was I forgot the dude's name, the dude, the internet guy, Drewski, I guess that's his name. When I definitely wanted to say this part right here because when they was like, who do you think have a chance of going and winning that division and going to the Super Bowl, or who will be able to compete for a Super Bowl? The dude said the Detroit Lions, and he was like, well, I don't know why you got that Lion jersey on and standing up, man. You need to sit down. And I said, well, obviously, he's not watching football. And obviously he can't be a football fan or haven't looked into it because he had that energy like how we were, like you said, 5 years ago. That's when Stephen A. and Molly had to sit his ass down like, nah, man, they actually have a chance. And he had to back off his words a little bit and like kind of tuck his chest in. And that's when I was like, yeah, this dude definitely, I couldn't even be really mad at him. I knew it was disrespectful, but like, yeah, you don't know football. Because if you did, you would have.
Yeah, internet clown. Ain't nobody paying no attention to him. Let's move on.
Philadelphia Eagles. We're going to go now with the NFC East.
Philadelphia Eagles. Okay, we know last year things was good until they wasn't. They had the best record in football till they didn't. You know what I constantly said that whole time last year? Something ain't right with my man Jalen Hurts. That dude hurt. And that dude was hurt. And that dude should be healthy now. Healthy Jalen Hurts with all the weapons he has and the additional weapons they have added. When you think about Saquon Barkley and the like, I see them having a very good season. I see them winning that division. Hugh Lee, I see them having the very best record in the National Football League this year at 14-3.
I got them at 12-5.
Everybody can't be 12-5 and 10-7. You what the hell?
I look at it right now and say that they're gonna be a good team, but there's some good teams they got to face on this hookup right now, man. That I've been seeing. I feel like they're going to be good and they're gonna step their game up this year. You could even go 13-4 if you want to, but at the same time, they don't have a good team. But I just don't think that it's just something that clicking, man. I can't trust them like I did last year because I thought that they were going to be 14-3 last year. Then you got Jalen Hurts who was hurt, and I just felt like everything collapsed after that. AJ Brown was complaining. How many times now that he's not going to get the ball to where he's going to not be a diva on the sideline? I don't see that changing, man. I felt like he got mad because a lot of times whenever Devontae Smith got the ball, he had issues, and it was like he didn't feel like he got the ball enough. But when he was getting the balls, man, he'd be wide open and drop it. So yeah,
but everybody got paid over there though, dog. It should be.
I don't think it's enough to fix some of them issues, man. Regardless, you know how these receivers are, man. If he ain't getting the ball, how much is he going to really participate? Or he's going to anticipate in playing the game and being a blocker at that.
Man, you trying to say you're going to be like AB? That's messed up. Anyway, look, people. Every season, me and this dude right here always had that one team that we disagree about, and we basically spend most of that season going back and forth. In the NBA, it was the Boston Celtics. In college football, it was his Alabama squad. Basketball, South Carolina, UConn for the women. So we always got to have that one team, Hugh, that we just don't see eye to eye on. We usually pretty much right here with each other, except for it come for that one team every season. So yeah, we probably gonna have quite a few conversations about the Eagles moving forward. You know how we do.
Yeah, I don't trust them enough. Yeah,
and I do. So we'll go there. All right, who next?
Dallas Cowboys, American team.
Damn them. You know we got to talk about them because, yeah, just like the rest of the country, it's people on the network that love them damn Cowboys. Rest in peace to my nigga H2. But look, man, I'm tired of hearing about them. I'm tired of talking about them. I'm tired of everybody else talking about them. It don't matter because guess what? When the playoffs start this season, we ain't gonna be talking about them. That's my bold prediction. They're not making the playoffs this year. And old boy gonna get fat quick as hell. That being said, I got them going 10-7. But that 10-7 ain't gonna make them to the playoffs. Not gonna get it.
I got them 8-9, not making it.
Oh my.
And him getting fired.
Flat out. Okay, we don't even talk about it no more.
New York Giants. The New York.
Why am I laughing like that, Hugh? You supposed to laugh when people tell you a joke. They're a joke. That squad is a joke, okay? Granted, I got them going, 4-13? That might be too generous. That might be too much.
It is.
I don't see them doing much of nothing. And that 4-13, I'm pretty much basing on them playing later on in the season and winning a couple games. Early on, I expect everybody to just put their foot to them, much like Dallas did last year early on in the season when they whooped them up 40-0. They're done. The head coach is done. They're done.
Yeah, I have them winning 4 games too, because of the strength of the fact that they got a good defense. But I definitely don't see any improvement in Daniel Jones. Never will. I don't see nothing in that man there to say or make me say that he's the truth and they can win with him.
I think he'll make a good offensive coordinator for some high school team somewhere down the line. That's about it.
Washington Commanders.
Now, here's the thing, Hugh. I'm really torn. That's the one team in the NFL I'm not quite sure what to really make of them. I got them going 7-10. Part of me feel like, man, that's a lot for you to have them winning with a rookie quarterback. But part of me feel like they're capable. They got good weapons on that squad. They got a decent defense despite the people they let go during the trade deadline last year. I wouldn't be surprised they win more than 7. I wouldn't be surprised they win less than 7. Daniels is definitely the X factor. If Jalen Daniels can play to that Heisman level that he did in college, anything is possible. It could be RG3 all over again.
I got them at 8-9. I really do, because like you said, man, they got a lot of guys who veterans over there now. They done drafted well. They have a lot of good talent over there, man. I was more surprised with them in free agency than most teams because we didn't think they was going to do that. We just thought they were just gonna sit there and take it like they normally do, and they really stacked up. Like you said, it's a make or break, man. It all depends on what my man's gonna do. You know, Jay Daniels, and I hope he do well, man. But yeah, I think that they're gonna be exciting. Some of the games gonna be fun to watch, but some games you can be like, yeah, you know, he's a rookie, so we should expect that. But I definitely think that's gonna be one of the teams that
they are the one team in the league I know that whenever we do our little mini bets, I'm not betting for them or against them. I'm not touching any game they in, period. I don't know what they might do from week to week.
they the biggest wild card team in the league.
Agreed.
I want to finish it off with the NFC South, and I want to talk about the team who reloaded, like one of the best, you know, off seasons out of all the teams too with talent. The Atlanta Falcons.
Now, on the one hand, what everything Sportsguru just said is true. They did do some good, but there's still that one questionable move that we are constantly going to scrutinize this season, with them taking Michael Penix Jr. with the number 8 pick as opposed to the best defensive player or best receiver or some of those other options that they had at 8. I would like to think in the ideal world, we will not see Michael Penix Jr. period unless it's some type of gadget play of some sort or basically in some mop-up duty. But in the event that we do, it could be interesting. Needless to say, I think they got enough going on there offensively, defensively in that division to where it puts them a little bit ahead of everybody else. So I got them going, according to my notes here, 11-6. I think that might be a little high. I think I'm kind of more inclined to make it 10-7 now. But yeah, I think they will win the division by about that much.
Yeah, I had them 10-7. And I want to move on now and talk about the division champs from last year, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
All being said, I think they're a little less this year. They let a few key people go. I think that cost them a couple wins. So I got them at 9-8. I'm still glad that that kid Baker Mayfield made out all right in the end. He got him some more money in this league. He is very mature as a starter now, and not quite as many commercials, obviously, but I think in the end it worked out better for him. I'm hoping that he continues in that path and has a decent NFL career from here. 9-8, not gonna make playoffs this year, but definitely stepping in the right direction overall in life.
I got them 8-9. I got them.
I ain't mad at it.
Close, but no cigar. I think
I ain't mad at it.
It's gonna be some hiccups there, man. They needed a little more Chris Godwin and didn't have that out of him. Mike Evans, I felt like they overdid it with him, man. He was like fatigued once it came to, you know, actually the second end of the season. And
Agreed.
Droppies a lot too, you know, once that happened. So yeah, I feel like they'll definitely not be as good as they were last year. And like you said, they lost some key components too. And then with Shaq Barrett retiring, yeah, man, that's gonna mess up their defensive front.
Agreed.
The New Orleans Saints.
Again, this is one of those enigma teams. I'm not quite sure what to make of them. However, unlike the Commanders, I think they trending more downward than upward. So, yeah, I think it's definitely going to be some weeks where they surprise a few teams, but I also think it's going to be a few weeks where it's going to be like, yeah, they are who we thought they were. So I got them going, let's see here, 5-12.
Hey, I got them at 6-11.
5-12 because I think the wins they do get gonna be early on in the season, but then once people figure that out, it's gonna get figured out pretty good. I see them getting whooped up a few times.
I don't trust Derek Carr, man. For one,
I do not
trust him. He is who we thought he was when they got rid of him. And then I feel like that front getting old, the offense, and you never know. And we still trying to figure out if my man's Alvin Kamara gonna start or play this year at the beginning of the season. You know he's gonna still get suspended from all the stuff he do outside the league. So yeah, that's been an issue for a while. I'm surprised that they kept him on the roster for all the stuff that's been happening with him. And that's why I don't think that they're going to do that well, because that team is basically getting older, man. Like you say, man, in that dome, they're ferocious. They're going to win some games just because of the dome alone.
Right.
I think they're going to be.
And again, look out for that dude Olave. He might be a decent little steal for you later in some of the later rounds in your fantasy league. Because I think he's going to be their go-to guy.
Yeah, I definitely don't really see a lot from that team, though, man. I think they're going to have to start by, like going back through the draft, man. And it's going to all start with them getting a new quarterback and trying to focus on, getting the anchor and strengthening that defense. But, yeah, I think that this is the year that they're really going to start to fall off. They're not going to even be close this year. And I want to end it off on the Carolina Panthers, their win and loss record.
Sorry, Felicia. Your team is A. Complete and total A. I gave them 3-14, but I feel like I gave them too much with that. I would not be surprised if they finish up with a 1, or they actually join that infamous club. You know the club, the one that we in Cleveland is in. You know what club I'm talking about?
Oh yeah,
one where we looked up and damn, we didn't win nothing.
Yeah,
I could see it. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I can see it.
I actually gave them 4 games this year.
You so nice.
Just because of the strength they have, a better offensive line. But
That ain't right.
I still feel like that still was reaching, because I was gonna go with the 3 record as well.
Tell them the truth, you. Why you giving them 4 for real? Tell them the truth.
I actually feel like they got enough talent to get 4. Besides Adam Thielen, I feel like he's really not as great as everybody anticipated him to be. But yeah,
that ain't why. You tell them the truth, you.
That's the reason why. Ain't no reason to lie. I feel like I definitely.
Who that quarterback, Hugh? Quit playing with us.
But that's still not the reason why I still feel like they can win 4 games.
Who that quarterback, Hugh? Say it.
Right, yeah.
Who he play for, Hugh? Say it.
He played for the Carolina Panthers.
Who did he play for before, Hugh?
That doesn't have nothing to do with anything.
Handle the truth.
They still a bad team, and I know that. It's a fact.
You got love for your Bama boys. Quit playing with us.
Not really. Remember when I told you I ain't thinking that your boy was going to do well in Pittsburgh, and at first he was definitely proving me right. He proved me wrong last year, but it took the coach to get fired for him to start playing better, though.
Man, you didn't think Alabama's current quarterback was going to be no good. You remember. They almost went and won the whole damn thing with him.
They could possibly do it again this year, but they lost too much talent again, man. But this is the most talent. This ain't the most talent they lost, but the most talent I've seen lost for a team now have to be Michigan at this point. They lost.
Hell, half their squad in the NFL now. For real.
Saying like, oh man, Alabama whacked these last few years. What happened? I said, nigga, if you watch the NFL, you'll know why. Shit, most of them niggas filling up the rosters.
That part.
Which is
okay, y'all. So that's what we got for predictions. Before we go, we got to tell you our playoff winners and Super Bowl predictions. But before we do that, we got to show love to our home girl. Road to Stardom. Road, we love you, homie. You be looking out big time. We appreciate you. We always gonna show you love here in the network.
Yeah, for
Talk
sure.
your shit, Hugh.
Because even in my darkest moments, man, she reached out to me and she asked me some questions, and it hit me where it hurt. You already know I didn't even like to discuss it. She was like, well, you need to advertise more, like the women's basketball, and you need to put more reels and do things like that on your page. I said, nah, man, I can't do it, and told her the reason why. Don't even want to even really talk about it, but it was a dark time for me. I had 2,000 followers, then it went down to like me starting all over from scratch. I just appreciate and thank all the people who was following me, and a lot of the people came to my page because of her, and she told me, you're going to get those people back. It'll just take a little bit more time this time. And I told her, yeah, a lot of it's because I can't put up reels and put up certain things that I did, because the funny thing is, Facebook was giving me the keys and the tools to put the stuff up, but then, they would ding me or I get fined whenever I used them. So I thought that was weird, and then they try to hype me up to do it when I complained about it. No, sir, I'm not going that route. If you want to see reels, you go to my other pages. And I'm going to start off by letting y'all know that I want to let you know, unfortunately, the Sports Guru was the Pure to the Game page at first, as you see, but now it's the Sports Guru page, and all I put on there now is just nothing but just like breaking news, like I did with the Brandon Ayuk news. I try to put it on there before anybody else do it. Give you that.
Okay, well, hold on, Hugh. Before they could find everything else with you, you're ending the show. Before we're ready to end the show, we're gonna talk about it at the end of the show. Can we show Rose some love right quick first? When we come back, we're going to finish on up. This is Sports Guru Sports Session. That's you, that's me. We talking about road, though.
On Blog Talk Radio or where most great music podcasts are located. Don't forget to subscribe and show some love.
All right, y'all, we are back. It's Sports Guru Sports Perspective. We giving you the NFL preview. We done told you how we think the team's going to do. Bottom line is we pretty much discussed who's making the playoff stuff already. So let's just get to the nuts and bolts of it, Hugh. Who we got being the MVP this year?
MVP, I'm gonna go with Joe Cool Burrow.
He's going with that dude Joe Cool. Sorry, y'all. I got to go with the obvious choice. It's Mahomes again, baby. It's Mahomes again.
You always talk about another MVP. How I'm a homer, but you love you some Kansas City barbecue and cooking. So yeah, you need to, back off me on that note. You love, and then it's getting to the point like after you're seeing on the NFL Top 100, they're gonna get a little bit to the point where it's like his greatness is gonna start getting to the point where it's gonna get people gonna get tired of it. Where they know how great he is. I think they're gonna definitely get past the torch this year and give it to someone else. And if Joe Cool can stay healthy, I believe that it'll be his. But yeah, like you say, even though Patrick Mahomes might have a great year, probably even better than last year, but as many MVPs as he won now, I think that they're going to just kind of wipe it under the rug, kind of like how they did with Brady, man. Brady's supposed to win more MVPs than he did, but we already knew his greatness, but it wasn't getting appreciated enough. And that's what I think is going to have your man's go through and feel some kind of way, and I think that's why he going to tear it up in the playoffs, Patrick.
Okay,
Mahomes.
well, in the end, it took Peyton Manning to help push Brady. It's time to find out who's going to be the one that's really going to push my man Mahomes. Is it going to be Joe Burrow? Is it going to be Lamar Jackson? Is it going to be that brother Allen over there in Buffalo? It's got to be one of them somewhere in there. But as we know, right now as it stands, Mahomes is the best player in football. Flat out. Okay.
The MVP this year, though, and we know that he the best, but hey, I think people gonna be tired of it, Just like
they may already be tired of it. Truthfully,
top 100, because a lot of times we knew Brady's supposed to win those top 100s, man. And when they start putting them down the list, I think that gave him more motivation to win those Super Bowls too. So yeah, I think that's gonna be a push or give him like more, motive to do what he got to do this season.
Right. Okay. Who we got for defensive player of the year?
Defensive player of the year. That's gonna be hard. I'm gonna go with TJ Watt.
I too am going with TJ Watt. Basically, when healthy, he is the biggest disruptor of them all. It's games where you look up and that dude got 4-5, then there's 6 sacks. I can see him definitely having a few games like that again this year. If he stays healthy, I'm hard pressed to not pick him. My sleeper pick though,
too.
Aiden Hutchins.
I wouldn't be surprised. Now he got help too. Finally, a lot of people are sleeping on Davenport. Man, Marcus Davenport is pretty good when it comes to edge rusher. A lot of people don't know him. Do your homework on him, man. Go on YouTube and look at Marcus Davenport highlights. You will see. You got DJ Reader. You got some guys up front now to where you can't ignore those guys. And now to give Aiden Hutchinson the chance to go in and do more damage. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised with that.
Right, because I'm pretty sure he used to be high up there last year. All right, hold on here before we finish up right quick.
Oh.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, here we go, good people. The pick you all been waiting for. Get down to it, y'all. Who going to the Super Bowl? You can go first. Who you got going to the Super Bowl?
I don't know about the AFC right now, man, but I definitely feel like when it comes to the NFC, it's going to be either San Francisco. It's going to either be San Francisco or Detroit again. It's going to be that same situation once again. I'm seeing.
What you just say?
It's going to either be in the NFC between San Francisco and Detroit. Finally, they're going to give them all they can handle this year.
Hold on. Did you actually say out your mouth that you think my Detroit Lions are actually going to the Super Bowl?
You have the opportunity, man, because they wasn't as good last year as they are this year, and they went, or they damn near went, but we know how that happened, man. That's made the Super Bowl for me.
Hugh Lee, you do realize that team ain't never been to the Super Bowl before, right?
Hey, it's the first time for everything.
Okay, I'm gonna be straight up with you, bro. I agree. I too, as crazy as it sounds coming out of my mouth right now, have the Detroit Lions. That's right, the Detroit Lions. I'm saying it with my chest. Is going to be in the Super Bowl. But unlike my brother Hugh, I know who they gonna face. I got them facing the same team I picked to go last year to the Super Bowl, Kansas City Chiefs. And then, I know he about to be like, yeah, there you go, picking your family's team again or whatnot.
But you stay with the family. You stay with the family because we know your prediction. And I don't agree with you on that.
I'm keeping it 100 with you. I was right last year. I plan on being right again this year. And who do I have winning? I ain't gonna hold you up. As much as I love my team, I love my Lions. I pray that they actually do go. I pray that I'm wrong about this. But I think when all said and done, the impossible is going to happen. And the Kansas City Chiefs will be the first team in NFL history to three-peat as champions.
And I'll be shocked as hell that happened because I definitely still feel like if Baltimore can get past them, that it'll be Baltimore's to lose.
All right, so we'll see. We'll see. We got something on it, Hugh? We got something on it?
Oh, yeah. We put some,
dinner to the winner? Dinner to the winner?
Yeah, that's cool.
Bet it up.
Yeah, that's definitely cool.
All right, then. So y'all heard it here on the air. Dinner for the winner. Now watch. In this crazy world, which is the NFL, we'll be having this discussion in February, and it won't be none of these teams we even mentioned. That's just how crazy the NFL be sometimes,
Shit like, man, I'm about to throw something crazy out there for you. It'll probably be like the Eagles, and let me throw another Eagles and Texans or something crazy like that,
Nah, you already know if that happened, we definitely gonna rewind to this moment here on the show and remind everybody you said that. I ain't mad at it. Okay, I'm gonna pick a couple wild ones myself. I'm gonna go with Buffalo, and I'm gonna go with the Packers.
I wouldn't. Yeah,
Buffalo Packers. They're my two sleepers.
You never know because it's a wacky world out here, man.
Right.
Wouldn't expect we didn't expect for the Lions to damn near go last year, and push San Francisco to the limit.
Right. Lord knows we ain't expect the Packers to blow out the doggone Cowboys at the crib.
I was smiling a bit of it too.
Anything could happen.
I think that now too, just like the NBA, the NFC is starting to even the ground with the AFC now, man. It ain't like though we're gonna get really bad teams that barely making it into the playoffs. It's gonna be a fight now, man. Because I think some of the teams got stronger because some of the AFC people came over to the NFC and some of the NFC people went to the AFC. It was kind of like a shift. So I think it's gonna definitely be more competition now in the NFC, though. It ain't gonna be like, man, we're gonna get teams who like how with the Tampa Bay, how they were 9-8 and made the playoffs. I don't think that's gonna happen again this year.
I ain't mad at that. All right, y'all. There you have it. Our NFL preview. Let us know what you think. Put it in the comments right now and whatnot. We will be answering as we are pre-recording this for later on, but we will be answering what you're saying in the comments. You know how we do. In the end, we look forward to some good football throughout the season. Don't worry, next week we'll be back talking not only the football but other things. We know the WNBA is in its last few weeks of the season. MLB is heating as we get close to the playoffs. We'll have things to talk about in regards to those things too. Before we go, as always, we're gonna have my brother Hugh tell you where you can find him. The floor is yours, my brother.
Make it short and sweet, man. Y'all can catch me on the Sportsguru to you on Facebook. And you can catch me at Hoovy on Instagram and TikTok. I'm Hughley.6. And you can go on my Lincoln tree and you can catch me on any of my networks as well. And then you can catch me every Tuesday at 1 p.m. This is season 3. I will be doing the next episode after the August the 31st. This time I will possibly be doing it on Thursday after the Labor Day weekend and a holiday. But I'll be talking about what happened as far as the aftermath in the NCAA football. But catch me on my links and like I said, go to my Lincoln tree to catch everything. But I definitely want you to start checking out more of the Guru Perspective as well. It's the football season, so I will be definitely getting into the NCAA football and staying more in tone to the NFL as well. So we got a lot to talk about too as far as the WNBA going into the playoffs. So, but then the playoffs coming in October too for baseball. So I'm gonna be pretty busy, and I don't got nothing but time right now. So, definitely appreciate you guys, the ones who show the love and support. And if you ain't heard, go to my Lincoln tree and check out some of my sites, man. Really appreciate it.
Right, and of course we got other projects in the works. You'll be hearing more about them in the coming weeks. Definitely some more things that we plan on coordinating on and whatnot. I'm hoping that you dig it and all that good stuff. So till next time we meet up with y'all, be blessed, don't stress. When all else fails, put your hands together and pray to the man upstairs and let him deal with the rest. Until next week, this has been your boy, your favorite co-host, E-Buck. And that, of course, is Hugh Lee, the guru. You know how we do it, Hugh. Throw the fingers up, baby. And we out, baby. Deuces.